They go on to say a funny line Kurt said, only because it talks about perception, is how TNA is now banking on younger stars to carry the company. The names he mentioned were Christopher Daniels, who's 41, Kaz, who turns 35 in a few weeks, and Bobby Roode, who's 35. But, listen, that's just, I guess there's a perception, too, that TNA is still, at this point, is a newer brand. And when you think about newer, it's more newer versus age, right?
Well, it's newer, but these guys never made it to the main event level.
Yes.
These guys deserve to be there. So when I talk about young stars, I'm talking about guys that are coming up through the ranks, not particularly their age, but where they are on the card. And these guys deserve to be at the top, and they weren't there yet.
Well, we move on, Kurt, and the names that you mentioned, by the way, as you said, they've never been presented in a big way prior to AEW, WWE, etc. Were you expecting to have the pay-per-view off since you don't really have a story? I mean, you just dropped the titles.
No, because TNA would never.
They needed you for everything.
So I was cool with that. I always wanted to wrestle for TNA, so.
Well, listen, all of a sudden, it's announced that your second match in the Bound for Glory series will take place at Destination X, and you'll be taking on your old rival, our friend, Samoa Joe. Were you surprised this was going to happen this soon in the series, and should this have been held off for longer, or what?
You know what? It didn't really matter as long as I got to wrestle Joe. I didn't care if it was at the beginning or at the end. But I also knew I wasn't going to win. Joe was going to move on to the next round. So I was just there to put him over. So I was cool with it.